Hello everyone. I welcome you all to the session of interview with toppers of NABARD Grade A. Today we have with us the newly selected NABARD Grade A officer, Mr. Deepak, who has cleared this prestigious exam in his very first attempt, and he has given this exam from the forestry discipline. So let's discuss about the plan and strategy followed by Deepak to clear this exam. Hello Deepak, I welcome you to this session.
Hello ma'am, thank you. Thank you for having me.
So Deepak, first of all, I wanted to know your initial reaction when you came to know that you have cleared this NABARD Grade A exam. What was your
I was
initial
happy, ma'am.
reaction?
Yes,
You were
ma'am.
happy.
The initial reaction was just happiness, ma'am. As there are
Okay.
only 2 seats in my discipline, so I was very happy and also shocked that I could make it to the finalist.
Yeah, we are happy to know that you have selected in the forestry discipline. That too with your
Yes,
hard work and dedication. So Deepak, first of all, I wanted to let the students know about your educational background and how did you started preparing for the NABARD grade exam. Please tell us.
yes. Talking about my schooling, ma'am, I have done my schooling from my hometown. After that, I have done graduation in forestry from Dr. Yashwant Singh Parmar University of Horticulture and Forestry, which is in Solan, ma'am.
Okay.
After my graduation, I have once appeared for IBPS AFO in year 2019-20 recruitment cycle, and I have made it to the interview phase, but I couldn't make it to the finalist. So after that, in 2021, I have also started working in a project institute. It was a research institute basically. So in 2021, mid of 2021, when the recruitment cycle of NABARD started, I started my preparation for this exam, and I have failed the exam in my specialized field, that is forestry. So that's my journey.
Okay, so earlier you have given attempt for the AFO exam, and while you were given the
Yes.
attempt for the AFO, you started preparing for the NABARD exam.
Not really, ma'am. Like I came to know like there is an organization named NABARD and all these exam happened. My preparation started, I would say, after the notification in 2021.
Okay, okay. So how did you came to know about the NABARD exam?
As I have discussed, like during my preparation days for AFO, there are there are NABARD norms and there are other things which NABARD is doing for agriculture and rural development. So we came to know about the scheme, policy, etc., which NABARD is implementing. So from there, I came to know like there is an organization like NABARD and what are the function of NABARD and all. And as I've also discussed, ma'am, during my work experience at that research institute, that name is Himalayan Forest Research Institute. And there are 2 or 3 NABARD funded training and project also running in our institute. So during that time, I also had a chance to visit the NABARD regional office and meet the DDMs of NABARD. So that was a good learning, and I came to know like the structural organization and functions of NABARD. And so I thought I could give it a try.
Okay, that was the turning point in your career basically. So you came to know about
Yes.
NABARD and you started thinking about giving this exam. Great.
Yes.
And so Deepak, how did you keep yourself motivated during your preparation journey? You must have some ups and downs during the preparation. So how did you keep yourself motivated during this time?
Yes, there are ups and downs, but I had just one thing in my mind, that if I keep on working, one day I'll achieve something good. So that was the only motivation for me. So that's all.
Okay, okay. And as you told me that you were working when you were preparing for the NABARD Grade A exam. So how did you manage
Yes.
time for this exam while you were working?
I was working, ma'am. The job was like it was a, I would say, a 9 to 5 job. So after job, I had only like 3 or 4 hours in which I have to study and manage everything. So I think I didn't have that thing like should I study or not, because I have only those 3 or 4 hours. If I study, then I'll make it. If I didn't study, then I had nothing. So that was the main thing, ma'am. I didn't have that extra. Sometimes there is extra time, like student have extra time, so they think that we should study now or later. So I didn't have that option. So I think that is one reason. Hello.
Okay, okay, yes, you're audible. So and Deepak, if I start talking about the phase 1 preparation of your NABARD Grade
Yes.
A.
Yes.
So what was your source of preparation for NABARD phase 1?
For phase 1, I have studied by my own, like I used to study from YouTube, and
Okay.
for that economic section, I used to go through like basic concept of economics, like I used to study concept of microeconomics and all, and I knew that all the exam are today at this present day and age, all the exam are oriented toward the current affair and all. So I have to study current affair, and also I had in touch with this current affair through
Okay.
YouTube only. I hadn't purchased any particular course or anything like that.
Okay. So like for phase 1 GA, you only refer to the YouTube sources.
Yes, ma'am. For phase 1, like GA, and also some part of ESI and ARD, also like the scheme part. I used to do the
Okay.
schemes and all from their website of, like, there is a nodal ministry, and in
Mm-hmm.
that ministry they have given all the detail, like they have individual website for every scheme and all. So I go through those. I also referred PIB as a main
Okay.
source,
Okay.
and marathon sessions. There are various marathon sessions in EduTap that were very helpful, ma'am. So I
Okay.
referred to those also. Yes.
Okay. Okay. So have you made your own notes while preparing for the GA part from YouTube?
Yes, I have like the main, I have made notes for schemes, like the dates and all, and the layout, and main the that I would call the main component or all of the schemes. So I have made notes of them only, ma'am.
Okay. So were your notes very long, or have you made them in short
No,
format?
no, ma'am. They are very short, very short format. So because I have to revise them again and again, they are very short.
Okay. Okay. So to like, as there are so many facts and figures in the current affairs section, so you
Yes,
how did you remember all those facts?
ma'am. I think for remembering those facts and figures, you have to revise them again and again. This is the only way you could learn them. So in my free time, I used to, like, when I have nothing to study, I just pick up my phone and I saw videos on that particular schemes on YouTube and all. So in the free time, if you keep chugging the facts again and again, I think you will get hang of them. Yes.
Okay, okay. So basically, many students have told this thing that they used to make short notes for the general awareness part phase 1,
Yes.
and they used to revise it multiple times. Only
Yes. Well,
through this,
revision
they
is the key.
yeah, only through this they will
Yes.
be able to remember the facts and figures that were asked in that will be useful in the exam basically. So
Yes.
Deepak, if I talk about the ESI current affairs part for phase 1, so can you please list down some important topics under the ESI current affairs that students can like revise from them, or they can choose from the ESI current affairs section?
Like ESI, ma'am, I would say ESI is mainly it covers, I think the main would be the social schemes which are run by the government of India.
Okay.
So
Okay.
the social schemes, I have studied only them, and
Okay.
current affair, like you have to go through the layout of the scheme, like how much money and how much people are benefited by this scheme, what are the major component. So I would say social schemes are main in ESI, and less of that macroeconomics. You don't need to stress mainly upon the schemes, not on the aspects like what is inflation, how it, this is not generally asked. I think main is the schemes and factual information regarding those
Okay.
schemes.
Okay. Okay. So do the students need to read all the schemes that are launched by the government, or they need to be specific?
Yeah. Ma'am, I think scheme they should cover all, because in the means also it will help in answer writing. So schemes part should be covered thoroughly, ma'am.
Okay. Thoroughly, we need to like cover as many.
Hello, hello. Am I
Hello,
audible,
Deepak.
ma'am?
Yes, it's Deepak. Actually, there was some
Yes,
network
ma'am.
issues from my end.
Yes,
Okay, let's continue. So we were talking about the schemes basically. So do we
yes,
need to read all the schemes, or do we need to be specific about the schemes? So you said that we have to be thorough about the ESI schemes because they're important
yes,
from the exam point of view.
ma'am. Actually, there are certain schemes like we could refer to. as I would say, EduTap channel. There are marathon sessions on schemes and all in EduTap. So the main points or the main scheme which EduTap and other online sources are telling to study, we should only go through those schemes. I think these will do.
Okay, okay. And how many months of current affairs have you prepared for the GA part?
Ma'am, as per my side, I would say I have prepared around about 4 months. I would say it
4
must
months.
be around six months, but for
Okay.
me, I have studied around 4 months of G.
Okay, okay. For you, 4 months were done the issue, but like at least 6 months of current affairs will be done for the exam
6 months.
purpose.
As when I have given the exam, like I was in pre, then I realized that if I have done like 6 months, that would be more
Hmm.
helpful. But that was my fault at that time that I only
Okay.
studied 4 months of GA. And the questions of that GA section is, I would say, ma'am, very direct, like directly from what's happening in and around you. It could be from sports, it could be
Hmm.
from like other social events happening in the world. The questions from GA are direct. If we are thorough in around 6 months of this general awareness and current affair will do that.
Okay, direct questions are basically asked from the GA part.
The questions
Even
were quite direct.
direct. Okay, okay, Deepak. And to, Deepak, if I talk about the reports, like the ESI reports and indices, so can you please tell
Yes.
like which ESI reports are need to be covered from the exam point of view? Are there any specific reports?
Ma'am, reports, I haven't gone through like any specific report
Okay,
as such,
okay,
because ma'am, I have given the exam from specialized field, that is forestry, and this is
okay,
my assumption as result are not out yet. That I think that in specialized field the cutoff for pre slightly less than the generalist post. So for
okay,
generalist post, ma'am, you have to read and study, I think, more in the pre.
okay,
So
okay.
from my point of view, ma'am, I would say that online sources or what institutes like EduTap are providing, we can go through that and be thorough about that only.
Okay, okay, fine. And if I talk about the ESI static part, like is it said that static
Yes,
is
ma'am.
very vast for the ESI section, but its weightage is less in the exam. So what was
Yes,
your
ma'am.
strategy regarding this?
I also think that if we start reading economics, it's a very vast subject. It's
Mhm.
like more of like physics, like it's endless. So I would
Okay,
say if we could make do with the basic concepts of economics, like macroeconomics or microeconomics, I would say, if you
hmm,
could get have the basic concept, then things build up and we could came to answers quickly. So I think the basics must be well read and everything will be done.
okay. Be in touch with the basics and do the current affairs.
Basics.
Do more.
Yes.
Okay, okay, okay. And Deepak, if I talk about the another section that is reasoning, so what about the quant reasoning and English section for the phase one? How did you prepare those subjects?
Ma'am, for QRE, I would say, ma'am, like I had mentioned that I gave an exam of IBPSFO. That helped me a lot because I have to do QRE there also. So
Okay,
I would say, ma'am, QRE part of this NABARD exam is slightly easier because I have given the exam this year only. So the pattern has also changed. It is now only qualifying in nature, not scoring.
okay.
So
Mm-hmm.
from the experience of this year, I would say, ma'am, the uh, uh, difficulty level of this section QRE is less. So it could be done easily. Like for, I would say quants, that number series, DI, simplification, these three topics you must do. And the DI is not
Okay,
like that of IBPS clerk or IBPS PO, like it's very tough for anything. DI could be easily done as also
okay,
simplification.
okay,
So I'm talking about the level. The level is easy as compared to other exam. For reasoning
okay,
also, inequality, blood relation, direction, these all questions could be done and you
okay,
could
okay.
manage this section easily.
Okay, the level of difficulty is basically moderate for these
Moderate, I would
sections.
say moderate. Yes,
Okay, can you also please tell about the English section, like some important topics for phase one English?
ma'am. For phase one English, uh, actually, ma'am, I didn't study English as for phase
Okay,
one because I
okay, okay,
think if I go like this is my personal opinion. If I go by the rules and all of grammar, like then I do silly mistake in English. So I didn't study it for English particularly. If you have average or above average English, you could easily pass these exams, I think.
Hello.
So hello.
हेलो दीपक, कुछ आपके
हेलो
एंड पे इंटरनेट इशू था? हेलो।
मैम। हेलो, आपकी
हाँ जी।
आवाज तो आ रही है मैम।
हाँ जी सर, आपके एंड पे ना थोड़ा
एम आई
फ्रीज हो
ऑडिबल
गया
मैम?
था। जी जी।
जी।
अब
ओके।
मेरी आवाज क्लियर आ रही है आपको?
यस मैम, यस मैम, आई कैन
हाँ जी, वो आई थिंक आपके
लिसन।
साइड से कुछ इंटरनेट इशू हो गया था, आपकी वीडियो फ्रीज हो गई थी।
ओके।
ठीक है, तो आप इंग्लिश के बारे में बता रहे थे, फेज वन इंग्लिश
यस
के
मैम।
बारे में। दैट यू डिडंट प्रिपेयर्ड मच फॉर इंग्लिश, बट
यस मैम।
मतलब
इफ
आपने
if your English is average, ma'am, you can do it. You can do it because itna it's not that tough.
so how did you prepare that English section basically? As you said that I didn't prepare much, then what sources have you referred to clear the sectional cutoff for English phase one?
And for phase one, I have just gone through, like there are mocks and all on
Okay.
internet, and also nothing specific, just general mocks and all. Ma'am, I think, but for QRE section also, I would give the credit that when I had previously previously when I had prepared for IBPS exam, that is AFO, that has, I think, helped me. So that's why I haven't worked that hard for English for pre.
Okay. That actually the earlier exam has helped you much in the NABARD
Yes,
preparation
ma'am,
basically.
because yes,
Hmm.
ma'am, because there is also pre, and in pre there is only QRE section, and we have
Mm-hmm.
to yes, ma'am, pass the
Oh,
pre in order to sit for the mains. So that helped me a
hmm.
lot.
Yeah, that practice help you in the this NABARD
Yes,
exam as well. So Deepak, if I talk about the decision making section in the phase one of NABARD, so what to cover basically in the decision making, as it's a new it's something new in
yes,
the pattern that has been
ma'am.
introduced. So yeah, what to cover and
Decision
what are the
making,
best
yes, ma'am.
sources to prepare for this section?
Ma'am, decision making, as in our time, it was a new subject. Like we didn't have any previous
Hmm.
references, so what could be asked in decision making and all. So for our time, ma'am, I had just there was a PDF of this decision making for EduTap. I have only
Okay.
gone through that, and as the name suggests, I thought that decision making would be like questions would be we can do the question, like if we go through the questions thoroughly and all. That was what I thought, but on giving exam, ma'am, what I find out that in decision making they are uh, asking about various theories and all regarding decision
Okay.
making. So
Okay.
those theories and all those we have to prepare, and I think we could take the help of institutes like EduTap for that, because
Okay.
by our own we couldn't find out those theories and all. I was not able to refer to those theories and all, but for next year, and because now it is known that how which type of question is asked, we could take help of EduTap, because there are only
Okay.
10
Okay.
questions, and if you are going to do decision making by your
Hmm.
own, it would take a lot of time.
Okay. So we can refer to some specific sources in order to clear the decision-making
Specific
sectional
sources.
cutoff. Yeah. And what was your
Yes.
strategy for the computer section part?
For computer, computer was, I think it's easy. Like for
Okay.
again for computer, we could refer to those institutes and all. As I'm
Okay.
also doing little work on computer during my job, so I could do this section easily. But if someone is new to the computer and all, they could again refer to institutes like EduTap and other sources which are providing like small
Okay.
PDFs and manuals for these, like GA and computer and decision making. So we could go through that also.
Okay. So Deepak, can you please tell some important topics that could be prepared for the computer section?
Now for computer section, and there are questions, if I could remember, there are questions from like internet and connectivity. There are
Okay.
questions from we use some shortcuts like copy paste,
Okay.
replace, etc. control. So there are questions on that. There are questions on the typical questions are from networking side also. We
Okay,
didn't
okay,
think that this type of question could also be asked, but there are some high level questions from connectivity, server, these things and all, which are
okay.
quite tough in nature. So I would say we could go through particular manuals or PDFs which are provided by organizations or institutes to cover the computer part.
Okay, so Deepak, will basic knowledge of computer can help you to clear the section or
Basic
cover? What do
knowledge
you
could
think?
No, basic knowledge could help, but I think as time is evolving, you have
Okay,
to
okay,
be little above basic to cover this computer section.
okay, okay. Yeah, we cannot take the risk here, like the basic
Yes, ma'am.
understanding. Yeah. Okay, so we
Because,
have
ma'am,
discussed.
though those PDF and all would hardly take you around 2 or 3 hours to complete.
Yeah.
So if we, and these are available readily also, if we are having these and we are not reading or learning them and going to exam, and that risk should not be taken at
Yes,
any
yes.
point.
Yeah,
Yes.
absolutely correct. So, yeah, Deepak, we have discussed a lot about the phase one strategy of yours. So now let's move on to phase two strategy.
Yes.
So please tell us about the descriptive English part. How did you prepare this descriptive English?
Ma'am, for descriptive English, ma'am, I have taken a course from EduTap. That was
Okay.
a descriptive English writing course. I think it is from Navdeep sir. I think,
Nadeep
ma'am.
sir. Nadeep
Navdeep
sir.
sir. Yes. I was going through YouTube, like when I was preparing for pre, I was also going through YouTube, like EduTap and all. And before mains, I also gone through, and there was a course on EduTap, and they are providing us with study material, fodder material, and also they are EduTap was giving
Yeah.
2 tests, and they are also checking those tests. So I think, ma'am, I thought at that point. I was confident that I could do the writing English part, but for evaluation and like there is interface problem also. Like we have to type. It is a computer-based paper, not a pen and paper-based. So for
Mhm.
that aspect, I thought I could take this course, and the course was very beautifully designed, I would say, ma'am. And the response, like when we have given the test, the response from the EduTap side was very good. They has corrected us in like how we could do, what was our mistake and all. So that was very helpful, I would say.
Okay, thank you. Thank you so much, Deepak, for your valuable feedback. I will definitely convey this to our faculty regarding the descriptive
Thank
English thing that you have mentioned. So now, if I
Yes,
talk about the next question, like as the word limit in essay is not fixed, it keeps on changing everywhere,
yes, ma'am.
every
Yes.
year. So how did you tackle this thing during the exam? What was your in your
During the
mind?
during like preparation time through last year trend, we all had a idea that the word limit for essay would be 400 or more than 400, like 450 words. It would be going through the previous trend. But luckily for our paper, it was only 300 words. But I would say, ma'am, to cover these word limit and all in English paper, and I would say also the descriptive now, the like the ARD section or for our and the forestry specific paper is also descriptive.
Okay.
So to reach the word limit, ma'am, only thing is practice, ma'am. We have to practice like keyboard typing and all. We have to practice, and
Mhm.
only then we could make it, because we have only 90 minutes, 1.5 hour, and we have to do essay, we have to do pressy, and we have also to do the letter. So, ma'am,
Yeah.
I think practice will be the key. You have to practice more and more. You have to be familiar with the software and also keyboard. So we should
Okay.
practice a lot, ma'am.
Okay, okay, fine. Basically, practice is the key to everything. Practice makes the man
Yes,
perfect. Yeah. So, Deepak, and what were the types of questions that were asked in the essay questions?
ma'am. In the essay, as far as I remember, there are, I think, 4 options from which we have to do. There is one on the importance of sports, and I think it was on sports. The other
Okay.
was there was a essay on social media and use of social media for farmers. So
Okay.
at that time, the farmer protests were also going. So I had chosen this essay because I had some fact and figures in my mind which I could use in this particular essay, and that essay is also relating to the current scenarios. So I had written essay on that one, use of social media for farmers. On these lines, there is a essay.
Okay.
So I have done that essay.
Okay. And Deepak, what was the order of your attempting the English paper? How did you attempt all these questions? Like,
Ma'am, I had yes, ma'am. Firstly, I had attempted the essay, ma'am.
Okay.
Firstly, I had attempted the essay, then I had done the letter, and in the last I have done the pressing.
Okay, so any specific reason for attempting the section in this particular order?
Ma'am, I think essay, I had attempted essay first because it carried more marks, and also in the starting the mind is fresh and you could recollect all the fact and figure which you have revised at your preparation time. So I think that's why I have done essay first. And in the pressy I had done in the last, because in the pressy, if you had less time also, you know that 120 words and you had read the passage. So in 120 words, you could summarize the pressy in short time also. But for like, if you had to write the essay in 450 words, so if we are doing it in the first place, so we could easily do the 450 words. But if in the last the time ran out, so the paper would not be counted as complete. So that for that particular reason, I have started with the essay and ended with the pressing.
Okay, we have to properly strategize in order to complete the English paper, basically, like you did. Okay,
yes.
And Deepak, is the word limit visible on the screen?
Yes, ma'am. There is a counter in the screen that how much word you have written. It is there, ma'am.
Okay, fine. So we are done with the paper one for phase 2. And what about your specialized stream, that is forestry? What was your strategy regarding paper 2 for this exam?
Yes, ma'am. As this was the first time the pattern has changed, and forestry paper is also on the descriptive lines. So I had a very little idea that what will they ask and all. And for my strategy and my preparation, I had prepared mainly like what NABARD is doing in forestry and what are the various schemes NABARD has introduced in the field of forestry and all. But to my surprise, when I saw the paper, ma'am, the paper was very basic. Like they had asked questions like, there is a unit in our forestry first unit from which every aspirant of whether it is IFS or NABARD specialized paper, whomsoever they study from the same book, that is a Manikananda and Prabhu book. And from that particular book, out of I think 4 questions, 3 questions are from first unit, like the introductory unit, which was. So the paper was very basic. So one need not to stress like current affair and everything in specialized paper of forestry I'm talking about. So you have to study very basic forestry, the basic concept of forestry, and that will do.
Okay, Deepak, can you please repeat the name of the book that you mentioned?
Ma'am, the book was Manikananda and Prabhu, ma'am.
Manikananda and Prabhu. Okay.
Manikananda and Prabhu. It was a book for IFS, but majority of forestry exam we could cover through this book also.
Okay.
And for this is for the descriptive part, and for the objective, like 50 questions are also from the objective part. Sorry, 50 marks, and it is divided into 20 plus 10, 30 questions. So those objective questions, I would say, are pretty difficult. Like the subjective part is easy, but it's lengthy, as the word limit is same. We have to cover approx I think 2000 word in that 90 minutes. So that part was easy but lengthy. But if I talk about this objective part, it was like only 30 questions, but they are really tough, man. So one has to prepare like this.
So how did you tackle that objective part, the difficult questions?
Ma'am, questions were difficult, but I knew if I knew like this, I could attempt more in the difficult part, I could score. Those are difficult, but I could deduce like in the last, I was there with only 2 options left, that either its option is A or either its option is C. I could reduce the question to the last 2 options. So I go with my gut feeling, and I attempted around 25 to 26 out of those 30. And for my part, ma'am, that turned to be good for me. And for yes, ma'am. And for that subjective part, I would say again, speed is the key, ma'am, because the word limit is huge. Like for 15 marks, you have to write approx 600 words, and for 10 marks, we have to type around 400 words. So I think that was the major concern for each and every aspirant in NABARD as well as RBI also. So if we couldn't do 2000, I don't think 2000 will be done by any person, but if we could do in the range of like 1700 to 1800 words for our descriptive part, that will be very good for aspirants. So they should practice typing and descriptive English, and typing, I would say aspirants should practice typing a lot.
Okay. So, Deepak, how did you like increase your speed for the descriptive subjective part? Like, when did you started typing for these answers?
Yes. For my part, ma'am, as I have also mentioned that I was working along with the preparation. So majority of my work was on computer and laptop, ma'am. So keyboard. So I got a hang of that in my initial days, but still I would say, ma'am, my speed was not up to the mark. It was told to me by the Navdeep sir, I would say,
Nadir,
through
sir.
my
Yeah.
sorry.
Nadir,
Yes,
yeah.
sir told me that my word limit is very low. So they asked me what was the problems. Then I said that, sir, it was maybe due to I was not good at typing so many words in this particular time limit. So sir was saying that my English, I would say the English that I wrote in those exam was grammatically correct, and everybody else has that issue that they are not grammatically correct, and they type words like they type more words, but that were not correct. But sir told me that in your case the thing is opposite, that you write what you write was good, but the content,
Speed is not up
like
to
the
the mark.
words are not up to marks. So that changed my strategy a lot, and in both the mock, the first and second mock, I got the same suggestion, like I had to increase my word limit. So during my yes, ma'am. So during my mains exam, I focused like I have to write more and more and more. So that would be, I want to share that you should write more and correct at the same time also.
Okay, you should have the hang on the things properly, and then you should increase your speed accordingly.
Increase the speed, yes.
Okay. So, Deepak, let's move on to the third and the last phase, that is interview. So, what are the areas to focus on during the interview preparation?
Ma'am, for interview, I would say, ma'am, I had listened to various, like the previous session with topper of EduTap also, and in those sessions I couldn't find anybody from my forestry field, as I would say, for the interview, like what I should study. And also I had gone with the perceived notion, like everybody was going, that we have to study a lot about NABARD, we have to study a lot about our own district, and we have to study a lot about the PLP graduate program also, like which all the aspirants do. But to my surprise, that when I arrived at the interview room, majority, I would say 95% of the questions were from my particular field. So for anyone who is applying for specialized field, I would say they are not going to ask in deep about NABARD, its functions and its anything, or like your home district also, but they will be going to ask questions from your particular field. Like I was asked questions on what was the effect of like deforestation and all in your state, as I am from Himachal Pradesh. So it is a mountainous region, and the ecosystem of the Himalayan region is very fragile. So, and also deforestation is going on a very unprecedented rate. So they had asked me questions about what was the adverse effect of this afforestation, who was doing a reforestation program in your state, and what are, like there are various hydro project also in our area. So what are their impact on the environment and all. They have asked questions from forest policy from me, like what was the major points of forest policy, 2018. And also I would say for specialist field you should be covered with your particular subject more than the NABARD.
Okay, okay. Basically,
Yes,
field related questions are more
field
that are
related.
being
Yes, ma'am.
interviewed. And what was
I
the
have
duration?
also,
Yeah, yeah.
ma'am, the duration, it was like when I got inside the interview room and I came out, I thought it is only 5 or 7 minutes. That's what I perceived. But when I came back, the other who are around me told me that the interview went for around 20 minutes, ma'am.
Okay,
So after me, there was another candidate from my state, Himachal Pradesh only, and she also took around 20 minutes. So for our particular interviews, that went for 20 minutes.
okay, okay, okay. And
Yes.
you were telling something earlier. Can you please complete?
Ma'am, I was telling that I have also gone through the transcripts of other specialized these seats also, like finance. I think there is a post of CA in finance, right, ma'am? And there is also an specialized post of IT also. So I have also gone through their transcripts, but actually it was after my interview.
Okay,
So what I can deduce from those transcripts also is that in case of specialized field, they are asking questions from your field also, and less of NABARD and less of your previous work experience and all. They are focusing more on the subject matter, I would say.
okay, okay. And Deepak, have you given
Yes.
any mock interviews for your official interview preparation?
Yes, ma'am. I have given mock interview from EduTap, ma'am.
Okay, okay. And what was your
Yes,
dress
the
code for
mock
the?
for the final interview, ma'am, I was wearing a white shirt and a black trouser with formal shoes and a tie, ma'am. That's all.
Okay, okay. And how did EduTap mock interviews help you in your official interview?
Ma'am, EduTap interview helped me a lot. Actually, the mock interview of EduTap was in Jan, and
Okay,
my interview was scheduled in it was in March 30. So the mock interview was way ahead of its time. I haven't prepared that much
okay, okay.
for the mock interview in Jan. So when I gave the mock interview, I was grilled by the faculty members, and I would say, ma'am, that sorry, ma'am,
No, no, you please continue.
sorry. Yes,
Continue,
ma'am.
Deepak, please.
So I was saying that I hadn't prepared that much for that particular mock interview,
Okay,
and I was grilled by the senior faculty a
okay,
lot in that interview. So from that grilling and all, I decided like this could be the fate of me at the time of final interview also. So I pull up my success and started preparing for an interview. Yes, ma'am.
okay, okay. That's nice to know. So, and Deepak, last but not the least question, but if you have
Yes.
not made it to the final list of NABARD grade,
Sorry, ma'am.
but if you have not made it to the final list of NABARD grade A,
Uh, Actually, ma'am, I was also giving an exam simultaneously with the NABARD. That is, there is a recruitment going on for RO, that is range officer in the State Forest Department of our state, Himachal Pradesh. So I have also given the mains for that particular exam. So the result was also waiting. If I couldn't make it to, I haven't make it to NABARD, then ma'am, I would be going to wait for the result of that and see what goes on.
okay, okay, that's great to know, Deepak. So, thanks a lot for coming to this session, Deepak. And I once again congratulate you for clearing this exam. Your hard work and
Thank you.
dedication really helped you to crack this prestigious exam. And thank you so much for giving the insights for
Thank
the
you, ma'am.
plan and strategy that you followed. It will definitely help the upcoming aspirants preparing for this exam.
Thank you, ma'am.
So,
Thank you
thank
for
you so
having
much.
me.
Thank you so
I
much.
would also, I would
Yes,
also thank, I would also want to thank my EduTap for the input that they have provided with me. And if you could arrange me a call from Sir, ma'am, it would be very helpful. I
yeah,
want to
yeah.
thank Sir personally for that.
Okay, definitely, Deepak. I will convey this to the faculty and we will arrange a call with them for you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much, Deepak. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Bye bye.